Hello everyone, welcome back to Beyond Our Universe Tarot. Today we are going to be doing Leo Collective Life messages for the month of March. We're going to take a look at your career, your love life, and overall messages and theme for the month of March. We are in Mercury Retrograde, so we're going to see what the spirits have to say today, how your March is going to be going so far. So I hope all of you are doing well. Welcome to the show. I do weekly readings, and I also do readings as well that are available off my website. If you want a personal reading, you can book a personal reading with me at www.beyondouruniversetarot.com. Again, that's www.beyondouruniversetarot.com. All right, everyone. Well, we're going to go ahead and get ready to get started. If you're new here, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start clearing the space here. Sorry if you got on headphones, I do apologize. I know it's very, very loud. I think that could probably wake up the dead. All right, so let's take a look here. Mercury retrograde, we know, started on, I believe, February the 28th, the last day of February. And you guys, it has come in with a bang, literally. So we are going to take a look here and see what is the overall theme for Leo this month. And this could be Leo, sun, moon, or rising. Please make sure that you check out the other videos for your moon and rising signs as well. And if you're tuning in today and a message hits you in a particular way, you don't necessarily have to be a Leo to enjoy these messages. These messages could hit you in a particular way from spirit. There could be a message directly that's meant for you. All right, so let's take a quick look here and see what the theme is for this month. So I hope you guys are doing well today. I just want you to know these messages are live, unedited, and off the cuff. So whatever spirit has for us today, that is the message that's directly meant for you. All right. So we have the card of trust. All right, so that's going to be your theme for the month of March. And I'm going to go ahead and read that quickly to you. Okay, so this is a desert vision. So the desert seems parched and devoid of life, yet it is to the desert that spiritual sojourners go to gain messages from the Creator. Traditionally, the desert is the place of spiritual cleansing, renewal, and profound healing visions. Just as desert terrains can feed our souls, they also nourish lands thousands of miles away. For example, the Sahara Desert and the Amazon rainforest are a great distance from each other. One is a vast, dry area of sand and scrub, while the other is moist, lush, and green, and yet they are connected. Annually, thousands of tons of nutrient-rich dust from the Sahara crosses continents in the upper atmosphere and deposits vital phosphorus and other minerals to the Amazon, which is needful of those exact nutrients. Wow, that is amazing, Leo. All right, so some of you could be experiencing a lack of things right now. You could be experiencing the desert. It could be like a desert in your life. It could be like a desert in your love life, in your finances. It feels like things could just not be really happening for you the way that you would like them to. But let's see what other message here the sacred landscape wants you to know. So this is a powerful and important card to receive. So even when things seem parched or not fruitful, a deeper energy sparks of the power of your inner knowing. Meditate. Trust those nudges from the universe. Your celestial advisors are close now. You are now open to receive some of the most important messages of your life through your intuition. Your intuition is spot on, so trust it. And even if there are some areas of your life that seem lackluster, know that other areas are being fertilized for a resplendent future. Have faith and know that there is a higher purpose. All right, so Leos, I'm already seeing a vision that some of you have given up and some of you feel a lack of hope or possible lack of direction. That's what I'm seeing for some of you, not all of you. So these messages won't resonate for everyone. But for some of you, there's a lack of vision here. You've lost your way, Leo. And I want to help you get that back. And Spirit wants you to help you to get that back. So Spirit definitely wants you to trust, to know that there is a divine plan unfolding. So if it feels like you're stuck and you're spinning wheels and it's the same thing over and over and over again and you're not really getting anywhere, this is Spirit's confirmation that right now it's time to meditate. And it's time to sit still. You know, you have to sit still and the answers will come to you and life will unfold. So let's take a look here. We're going to first take a look at your career. And I want to pull some cards to see, Leo, what is going on for a lot of you career-wise. Okay, Spirit, please show us. Okay. Ooh, yes. Okay. Well, they're really flying out today, you guys. Spirit's really wanting to talk to us. Thank you so much. All right. So, the tarot cards that are picked out for you, Leo, are the Four of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. Ooh, Leo, you're really going through it. I see some of you are very discontent with your work environment, or you're unhappy, or the work that you're doing has made you depressed. There are some of you that could be out of work, and the lack of work or not being able to find employment has also made you very down and depressed, very discontented with life, wondering, being in the desert, feeling like you're not really getting anywhere. All right, so we're going to go through the rest of these cards and see what other messages await you. Okay, so we move into from the Four of Cups into the Three of Pentacles, which is about teamwork. Okay, there's a message out there for some of you Leos. You're going to have to network, okay, in order to get a better job, or in order to get a job, it is time for you to start networking. Okay, some of you may already be doing that, but if you're not, you're going to really have to step up your game in order to keep up with this market, because this job market is terrible. And so it feels like, from what I'm seeing here in the cards and what Spirit is directing here, that it's going to take more than just yourself. Okay, you're doing everything that you can. You're putting in applications. You're talking to people. You know, you've went to countless interviews. You may have not had any luck. So now Spirit is saying it's time to network. Okay, this goes beyond the LinkedIn, beyond the Indeed. It's gonna be now for you to go maybe on Facebook and link up with some groups, or talk with friends or family to see if they know of anything, or even go up to meetup.com to check and see what options are available or groups that there are, because the job market is very competitive at this particular point in time. So I don't want you to get despondent. I don't want you to get extremely depressed to where you fall down. I'm seeing some of you may be losing hair. You may have hair thinning, or you may be feeling like, because of the stress of everything, that some of you may be losing hair because of that. So please, if you start to notice that, it is time to start changing direction. All right, because it starts to manifest within our body. Some of you are having tension headaches. I'm seeing that as well. But it's time to start networking. Start, like I said, go on meetup.com. You're going to have to change the way that you're doing things. It may be time to relook at your resume. It may be time to sharpen up your skills, maybe take some classes. But it's going to take more than just yourself to get you a job, or to switch positions, or to get a new job if that's what you're desiring. All right, so we have the Five of Swords here. So some of you are feeling a loss of some sort. Okay, this could be a loss of a job. It could be a loss of a relationship. And like, again, it feels like you are in the desert of your life. Okay, so Spirit here is here to quench your thirst. I am here to help you get back on your feet here. It's so important that you maintain a positive frequency. Okay, we're going to pull more messages. Leo, y'all are really going through it. Okay, Ooh, okay, so we got some new messages that have popped up here. Okay, one is called Don't Overthink Yourself Out of a Money-Making Idea. Okay, so some of you, it may be time for you to start becoming your own boss, becoming an entrepreneur, or starting up a job or a new company. And if you're saying to yourself, well, it won't work, Spirit is saying just the opposite. Don't overthink yourself out of a money-making idea. You have a lot of great ideas, Leo. Sometimes we can overthink ourselves out of, because we think, oh, we're not good enough, or maybe someone would not like that product. Don't overthink it, okay? If you get an idea that comes to you as divinely downloaded to your spirit, write it down and just don't overthink the process. You know how sometimes we can just think about something too much and it kills the joy, it kills the fun, it kills the inspiration. So if you have an idea, a business idea, it may be time for you to get a partner, someone that you trust. And if you don't have someone that you trust, that's okay. If you have to pull it off on your own, you have to go on TikTok, you got to go on YouTube, Instagram. It's time for you to put that idea into motion. So quit thinking about it, quit delaying it, quit putting it off, because this could be the very thing. Because Leo, you're very bold. That's why they call you the lion. You are very bold, you are very tenacious, and you don't need to shrink back at this time, because this could be the very thing that pulls you out of the desert. Now, for others here, it could mean that you need to change careers. You're stuck in the same place, you're stuck in the same job, and you hate it. And you know that you do, but you're scared to change. You're scared to change because of the economy. You're scared to change because you feel like you've been there for so long. You've built up trust, you've built up, retirement or savings, but you know that the company is falling apart. You know, you're not happy there. You're drying up in your workspace. And Spirit says it's time to start looking elsewhere. Okay, it's time to start looking at the possibility of switching careers. You know, Pluto came into Aquarius earlier this year, so everybody's life is shifting. Everybody's life is changing. So depending upon how Pluto affects you, some people it will be a totally brand new career. For others, it may be brand new relationships. They may be breaking up, divorcing, getting into new relationships, or being happily single, or simply switching to a new hairstyle, a new way of dress, a new mindset. Everything is changing. Okay, so that's very important for you, Leo, to know, to be bold, and don't shrink back. Don't shrink back. Okay, I want to pull some other cards to see what else is going on with you, Leo. I'm seeing a Leo also there that may be having some car problems, and you're thinking about getting another car. I feel like you need to wait before you purchase another vehicle. Wait until the spring or summertime before you make that purchase, Leo. Because Spirit is saying that if you make a purchase spontaneously, it may cost you a little bit more than what you're anticipating. So please be mindful of that for you Leos that are out there that are thinking that. And don't be afraid to put your comments down. If something resonates with you, please don't be afraid to speak your mind. And don't be afraid to hit that like button either. Oh, okay. So Leo, we got the card of boundaries. Saying no without guilt, protecting your time and energy, teaching people how to treat you. This is my line. Okay, Leos, some of you need to start drawing lines in the sand. And as far as jobs, it may be that your job is pushing you to work a lot of hours or pushing on other people's job responsibilities on you. And they may be responsibilities that you're not very familiar with, or things that are not part of your job description and you're not getting paid for. Spirit says set boundaries. Don't be afraid. Set boundaries, because the more you heap on, the more that you try to take on, it's going to erode at you and further your depression or sadness or anxiety when it's related to your job. So make sure that you're trying to set boundaries. Some of you may be receiving a lot of phone calls or text messages about your work when it's your time off. So it may be time for you to put the do not disturb button on, or to buy you a separate phone that's just delegated just for your work. And when you come home, if you don't have to answer it, or if you don't have to answer those emails or text messages, cut that damn phone off. I used to have a job that used to drive me crazy. Every time I would be off, I couldn't piss for the phone ringing. I mean, it was something every time I turned around. I'm just like, I'm not getting paid for this. So you know what I did? I cut that damn phone off. And it was one of the best days ever. I just simply cut it off. Because I'm like, if I'm not getting paid, I'm not doing this. Truly. All right, so we have another message called self-care mode. So, logging off. Rest, rituals, recharge, choosing peace over people-pleasing. I am my own priority. So this is directly in line with boundaries, you guys. It's directly in line with boundaries. It's time for you to log off, cut your computer off, cut your Instagram off, your TikTok, your work phone. And it's time for you to do some self-care and show yourself love. Show yourself love, Leo. Okay? All right, so let me see what else is coming for you as far as money this month. Okay. We have investments. So investments made will have positive results that will bring prosperity. Invest wisely. Okay, so some of you Leos may be investing. You may be investing in the stock market. You may be investing in real estate or some sort of business, and it's going to pay off for you. So if you are wondering whether or not that's going to be beneficial to you, yes, it will. And it may take some time for things to grow. So, you know, don't be impatient with yourself or the situation. Know that it may take some time. And we also have the card of expression. So open up your heart and connect with others. Express your creative self. Okay, so there are some of you Leos that are very creative. You may like to paint, draw, or sing, or make music. And it's time for you to express yourself creatively. You know, again, if this could be in the form of a business, don't overthink yourself. Okay, so if you're thinking, well, I don't have the skills to be able to do something, or maybe you're worried that you lack the talent, or you're worried that maybe those skills cannot bring in an income. Think again, okay? So don't second guess yourself. Just try it and see. See what spirit can guide you to. Okay, so that's all that I have as far as the career sector here and finances for Leo. Some of you are experiencing losses, droughts, like the desert. You need to set boundaries. Please invest if you can. Don't overthink yourself out of a business or a good idea that comes to you that's divinely inspired. Express yourself, take care of yourself, and it may be time for some of you to move into a new career, because either the place that you're working at, you're not happy with it, or it could be going out of business, and it's time for you to make room for something new. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so next we are going to be moving into the love sector. So we're going to be seeing what Leo singles are going to be experiencing here in the month of March. Okay. Okay. All right. Ooh, okay. So some of you singles are going to really be enjoying yourself this month of March. Okay, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Sun card, and the Six of Wands. So some of you could be dating someone that's a little bit younger than you. They could be Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And it could be someone that's the type of person that you could be meeting up with could be into activism, or they could be someone that's very expressive, and they're not afraid to show that they're expressive. We have the Sun card here, which means optimism, hope, and joy. So you could be meeting someone that could, make you smile a lot or have a lot of fun with. It could be, a ton of fun to deal with. And we have the Six of Wands. So some of you could be moving into from a talking stage to actually dating someone on a regular basis here with the Six of Wands, because that's about victory. So let's take a look at the Oracle of Identity deck and see what you singles, what type of people you singles could be meeting up with. Okay. Okay, the Volunteer. So volunteer at charity events, kind, compassionate soul, generous with money and time, a care for humanity, someone who wants to help. Oh, look, we were just talking about somebody that likes to protest, or someone that's very vocal about how they feel about things, very passionate about others, about humanity or animals. So you could be dealing with someone who has a big open heart and who is not afraid to speak their mind. Okay. This could be, and this could be another fellow Leo too. Okay. All right, the pregnant one. So expecting a baby, wants to have children, a deep desire to be a mother, emotionally moody, preparing for life's changes. Okay, so Leo, you could be meeting up with someone or meeting someone that has kids or has a desire to have children. So that could be another type of person that you could be meeting as well. And our last one, the professional. Works at a large company, climbing the ladder, works a 9-to-5 job, well-trained at profession, business-minded, pressure to compete. So you could be meeting up with someone who is a professional. And you never know, even if this does not turn into a love match, again, with that networking that we were talking about earlier, you could be meeting someone that could help you land your next job. So you just never know how spirit operates. We never know what direction it's going to take us, what it's going to bring us. So be open-minded, Leo. And I know that you already are. Okay. All right. Let me see with the Oracle cards if there's anything else that you... Let's pull this one. Let's see if there's anything else that you could be bumping into. Okay. Oh, ship. Cutting ties, moving on, receiving what you need, progression, and arriving. Okay, so some of you single Leos could be taking a cruise. Maybe a cruise to another country, or a cruise locally where you live. Maybe if you live in Florida or the Texas, or a place that's down south. And some of you could actually be cutting ties with people as well. So if you're not in a satisfied relationship or commitment, you could be cutting ties with someone that you're romantically involved with. If you feel like it's not really going anywhere or taking you places, you could be cutting ties with that as well. Okay. Okay, so we have the message of healing heart. Okay, so healing heartbreak, toxicity, addiction, abusive relationship. So some of you could also be on the mend this month of healing your heart, and taking some time out to take care of yourself, maybe doing some self-care, maybe doing some shadow work, and allowing yourself to heal. And we also have some of you singles that may be moving into marriage. So some of you could be getting engaged in the month of March. We have engagement rings, so higher commitment, eternity, partnerships, and union, and completion. Wow. So those are beautiful messages for the single Leos that we have out there. That's all that I have for you, single Leos. Next, we are going to move into no contact. So those Leos that are dealing with a no contact situation, whether you cut off from this person or this person has not contacted you, let's take a look at some of the reasons why. Okay. All right, so we have being a victim. You feel helpless to change your love life, but you can change whenever you want. All right, Leo. So if you've been in victim, if you've had a victim mindset or a victim attitude, it's time to change, okay? Just know that it's time to change. And also you could be dealing with someone that plays the victim as well. Maybe if they're playing mind games with you, or something's always your fault, and they don't really truly see themselves, that could be a reason why there's no contact. And maybe you just got tired of dealing with that because they were very selfish towards you and you decided to cut them off. And we also have just the not talking as well. So you aren't communicating your needs clearly. You need to discuss how you feel. Okay, Leo, this could go both ways. It may be that maybe you need to talk to this person to tell them exactly how you're feeling. They may be unclear about where you stand in the connection, or, you know, what's going on with you. Also, vice versa. It could be maybe that you're not understanding where they're coming from, or they're not communicating with you very clearly. And that's the reason for the possible no contact. Okay, so I want to know if you will come in contact again with this person. Yes or no, Spirit. Oh, okay, we got 4 of Pentacles, which would be a yes, but a slow yes. 4 of Pentacles is about improvements in money or control or greediness, or saving and conserving. So I'm going to say yes, you will be getting back in contact with the no contact person if you desire to do that. This person, I feel like, will reach back out to you. It may take a little time for them to make themselves back your way, but I do feel like there is possibility that you guys could reconnect. But again, there needs to be a conversation had about expectations of the relationship and taking responsibility of where your actions and their actions. So that's what I'm seeing here for as far as no contact. So let's take a look at some of the married Leos and Leos that are already currently in long-term relationships. You don't have to be married, but if you're in a long-term relationship or a relationship in general, let's see what is coming up for you in the month of March. Okay. Oh, geez. Okay. Some of you are going through it, honey. Okay. All right, Leo. Okay. Some of you are going to be leaving relationships. You know it's time to go. It's time, maybe time to get that separation. It may be time to move out because the relationship no longer fulfills you anymore. With the 8 of Cups, that is abandonment. Some of you could have been abandoned. So maybe a person moved out, or they left you, or you guys made the decision to amicably split. So that's going on here with the 8 of Cups. Maybe you felt like the relationship was no longer going anywhere, or it had hit a plateau and it just wasn't moving and going beyond where you wanted it to go. So some of you are going to be leaving relationships here in the month of March. We have the 3 of Swords, which is about breakups or heart loss, difficulties, pain, and seeing the painful truth about a situation. So you may be faced with the painful truth about a person, about their actions or their non-actions, and you're faced with having to make that decision of whether to leave or not. Spirit says you really need to think about it, really weigh the pros and cons, and if the cons outweigh the pros, then it's time to pack up and move out. You ever heard that song by Paul Simon? Is it 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover? Get on the bus, Gus. You don't have to discuss much. Get on a backpack, Jack, or something like that. Hey, it may be time to go, okay? Pick out the 51st way to leave your lover. All right, so we got the Ace of Swords here also, which is about mental clarity. So some of you are going to start receiving mental clarity about where you are in your relationships, what you want out of a relationship, a connection with someone. You could have courage to also make that move to leave. And also, some of you may just simply need to have a discussion with your mate about what is going on, what needs to change. You're going to have to muster up the courage to do that, and that can be kind of scary sometimes, because sometimes we don't want to know the truth. You know, if we get comfortable in a situation, but Spirit is saying it's time. All right, so some of you could be experiencing a catfish. And you're probably asking me, well, how do you experience a catfish if I'm already married or with someone? Well, it happens. Sometimes people will present themselves one way to you and they may not be that way at all. You know, as the years go by or months go by, you really see what this person is about. So it says not who they claim to be, filters, masks, and fake stories. Something feels off. Do a reality check. Okay, so some of you maybe have been catfished recently or felt that a person is not being their authentic selves with you. They're hiding something or masking something. And the truth is being revealed with the Three of Swords, the painful truth. Excuse me, everyone. I'm very congested. I've got some type of virus going on here. I don't know what it is, but I'm not going to let it stop me because we got shows to do. I got people to read. And I got messages to give. All right, so some of you could be giving your lover a second chance, a do-over moment, lessons learned, wiser hearts, test from the universe. Will you repeat the test or will you rewrite the test? Okay, so for some of you, there could be a separation or breakup or possible divorce, but you could be getting back together with this person later this year. So I just want you to know, even if it feels like it's the last, that you never could get back together with this person, don't rule the possibility of you guys getting back together out, okay? Just know that the universe has a funny way of doing things. It may be it was time to purge out some things, and things had to come to the surface. It's like an impurity. It's almost like a pimple. You got to pop the pimple and get rid of the impurity, so that way you can have beautiful skin again. It's the same way with a relationship. Sometimes you got to pop out those impurities and things that need to go in order for you to better your relationship. So some of you will be experiencing that in the month of March. Wow. Very interesting energies here that I'm seeing for you married or in relationship Leos this month. So just know it, you know, and this is also Mercury retrograde. So just know that communication can also be skewed. When there's Mercury in retrograde, basically those of you that may not be familiar with it, it's when the Mercury does appear to go backwards in the sky. Mercury is the planet of communication and it's a messenger. And a lot of times when it goes in retrograde, and as it's appearing to go backwards, things just get misconstrued. There's fights, there's arguments, tech appliances and computers malfunction. Sometimes when you send messages to somebody, they don't get those messages, or they may misconstrue the message and you may not be communicating clearly. So please make sure that anytime that you're sending messages out, please make sure that you're reading those messages and you're making sure that they make sense, and that the way that it's going to be read is the intended way that it's supposed to be read. Because sometimes people will send out a message and they may get hurt feelings from it because they maybe came off a certain way and they didn't realize that the message sounded harsh, or it sounded brash, or it was missing information. So just make sure that you take out time to proofread. If you're traveling, please make sure that you always have a backup plan. Because usually with Mercury's in retrograde, your car can break down. You can have flat tires. You can have car wrecks. And any of these things can happen all year long. It doesn't have to just be in Mercury retrograde. Of course, we know that. But they do have more of a propensity and more of a probability of happening more so with increased with an increase. So please be careful. Make sure that you have backup plans. You know, if you're traveling, make sure you have enough money, that you have a backup payment system, you know, that you have more than one hotel maybe picked out if you're traveling someplace, that you're really looking and doing a lot of research before you go someplace, because you can be stranded in Mercury retrograde. You could be hurt in Mercury retrograde. So just make sure that you're taking all the precautions that you need to take at this time. And actually, this is actually supposed to be one of the worst Mercury retrogrades that we've actually ever experienced. So please, 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 even war broke out on February 28th, which was the first day of Mercury retrograde, and with Mars. So it's pretty intense right now, the energies. People are on edge. Their personalities and attitudes are a lot more higher flares. They can flare up more easily. So please be on the lookout for that. Okay. All right. So that's all that I have as far as the love sector as well. We're going to be looking at some overall messages for you for this month to see what else is transpiring for you. Okay. Okay. Any other messages that you have for Leo for the month of March? Okay. Heartbroken. Okay, so some of you could be feeling heartbroken or feeling lost or grieving in despair. Excuse me. And this does not always have to be about a relationship, although it could include a relationship. Some of you have lost loved ones this month. Some of you may just have a feeling of grief and despair because life is it has not turned out the way that you expected it to, or you've lost a job. So some of you could be grieving a loss of some sort. Feel that energy is perfectly okay. It's okay to not be okay, okay? We have separation, sadness, bitterness, missing you. Again, some of you could be separating from a job or separating from a mate or family. And we have old school, so outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. Okay, so some of you you're going to have to get hip. You're going to have to get hip with the times, Leo. You are the sister sign to Aquarius. So you are a visionary. You are a thinker. So if you are going back to old ideas about things, Spirit is saying it's time to shift your perspective into a new perspective. You can't be thinking old thoughts, negative old thoughts, or doing old ways that you used to do. Everything is becoming new. Everything is changing, and we're going to have to get with the times. And that can be difficult because everything is so rapidly happening. It's so fast. But Spirit is saying we're going to have to make choices to live in the now. Live in the now and realize that we are in a new era. And there are good things about this era. Even though it's been a lot of bad, there are good things in with it as well that we can embrace. And we're going to have to learn to embrace this. We're going to have to learn to embrace the AI. We're going to have to learn to embrace this new way of living. Okay, so what self-care messages do you have for Leo Spirit? Okay, we have chanting. Okay, so I'm not sure if some of you are Buddhist, or you have a particular chant. You don't have to be Buddhist. You can be any religion you want, or no religion at all. But Spirit says that chanting would be good for you. Okay, will help to create a new frequency for you, and also mantras will help to increase your frequency and vibration. All right, we also have the card of Be Still. So some of you, it may be time for you to do some meditation, just like the Trust card we talked about earlier. Meditation, again, that could be with that Four of Cups energy that we had here, taking time to think about things, but don't overthink. But think enough about it to get a solution to a problem or a way to maneuver yourself. And our last self-care card is massage. Okay, some of you are in desperate need of a massage. You're having some upper back problems or lower back problems. I'm seeing some of you having some problems with your calves as well. So it may be advisable for you to get a massage therapist to work out knots in your shoulders or upper back, as well as your calf muscles as well. And this will help you relax you and release some pressure from you as well. All right, so we're going to come to our last few messages from Spirit. Spirit, what messages do you want to leave Leo with this month? Okay. All right, so if you frequently give yourself permission to doodle, wander, and be totally unproductive, and you actually relish such interludes, I can guarantee that your genius, creativity, and productivity will increase exponentially. Beautiful. Beautiful, Leo. Okay, it's okay to wander. It's okay to daydream sometimes. Sometimes that's when your best ideas come. And the last message, if you find yourself constantly seeing reoccurring numbers or words, it is a sign that you are being supported, cared for, and divinely protected by the universe. Beautiful things are about to happen to you. I am seeing some of you seeing the number 7 and 4. And I'm also seeing the number 14. I'm not sure if that's significant to any of you, Leos. So please make sure that if you do see reoccurring numbers, know that the universe is aligning you. And they're letting you, this is confirmation to let you know that they hear your prayers, and they're guiding you in the right direction. You're headed in the right direction. Okay, trust. Okay, trust, Leo. All right, well, those are beautiful messages from Spirit. If you like what you heard today, please don't forget to hit that like button. I greatly appreciate that. I am definitely going into the spirit realm and getting you messages directly from Spirit. And I greatly appreciate each and every one of you that have tuned into the video. Definitely make sure that you check out your rising and moon signs as well. And don't forget to hit that like button and share button as well. All right, well, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope that you stay beautiful and blessed, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.